It's been almost 10 years since Jacob and I became friends.
It's okay, they're nice. They're different than sharks.
But when my friends and I first met him in Uganda, in Central Africa, it was in very different circumstances. He was running for his life. After spending a few weeks with Jacob, he told me something I would never forget.
So it is better when you kill us. And if possible, you can kill us, you kill us. For us, we don't want now to stay. Because
You don't want to stay on Earth.
We are only two, no one taking care of us. We are not going to school. So
You would rather die than stay on Earth.
Yes.
Now, even now.
Even now. Are we going to stay in our future?
He told me more about his brother and what he would say to him if he were still alive.
I love you, but now I miss you. So it is better when we meet. We are going, even if we are not going to meet, but we may meet in heaven, you see. So it is better. I will not talk much. I will start something. Because if I saw my brother once again, I don't.
Everything in my heart told me to do something. And so I made him a promise.
And we are also going to do everything that we can to stop them.
Yes.
Do you hear my words?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
We're going to stop them. We're going to stop them.
I made that promise to Jacob, not knowing what it would mean. But now I do. Over the past 9 years, I have fought to fulfill it. And the fight has led me here, to this movie you're watching. Because that promise is not just about Jacob or me. It's also about you. And this year, 2012, is the year that we can finally fulfill it. And if we succeed, we change the course of human history. But time is running out. To level with you, this movie expires on December 31st, 2012. And its only purpose is to stop the rebel group, the LRA, and their leader, Joseph Kony. And I'm about to tell you exactly how we're going to do it. For 26 years, Kony has been kidnapping children into his rebel group, the LRA. Turning the girls into sex slaves. And the boys into child soldiers. He makes them mutilate people's faces. And he forces them to kill their own parents. It's obvious that Kony should be stopped. The problem is 99% of the planet doesn't know who he is. If they knew, Kony would have been stopped long ago.
No administration, Republican, Democrat, Obama, Bush, Clinton, doesn't matter, would do enough because it's simply not an important enough issue on the radar screen of American foreign policy.
We started something, a community.
I have friends that have been living in this conflict their entire life. Fight for that, because that is what is going to change this world, and that is what defines us.
We got creative, and we got loud.
It's not over! It's not over! It's not over!
And as the LRA began to move into other countries, Jacob and other Ugandans came to the US to speak on behalf of all people suffering because of Kony. And as a result, the unseen became visible.
talk to people from Mexico, from Canada, from every other state that I can think of. We're all doing this for the exact same reason, and we're all coming from completely different places. This is what the world should be like.
So with hundreds of thousands of people with us, we went back to Washington, D.C., and we met with congressmen and senators, one by one, on both sides, Republicans, Democrats, and they all agreed with us. Joseph Kony's crimes had to be stopped.
In furtherance of the Congress's stated policy, I have authorized a small number of U.S. forces to deploy to Central Africa to provide assistance to regional forces that are working toward the removal of Joseph Kony from the battlefield. Sincerely, Barack Obama.
But Kony is still out there. He's recently changed his tactics, making it even more difficult to capture him. And international support could be removed at any time.
If we take the pressure off, if we're not successful, he is going to be growing his numbers. People forget, and you got to remind them, and it takes numbers to remind them. And if interest wanes, then it'll go away. And I'd end up standing out there alone trying to do something to support completing the mission. It's got to be 2012.
It's not bad for the youth, it's bad for the world if we fail. It's not important just for Ugandan people, it's important for everyone.
It's hard to look back on some parts of human history, because when we heard about injustice, we cared, but we didn't know what to do. Too often, we did nothing. But if we're going to change that, we have to start somewhere. So we're starting here with Joseph Kony, because now we know what to do. Here it is. Ready? In order for Kony to be arrested this year, the Ugandan military has to find him. In order to find him, they need the technology and training to track him in the vast jungle. That's where the American advisors come in. But in order for the American advisors to be there, the US government has to deploy them. They've done that, but if the government doesn't believe the people care about arresting Kony, the mission will be canceled. In order for the people to care, they have to know, and they will only know if Kony's name is everywhere. This is the dream. Kony arrested for all the world to see, and the abducted children returned home. Here is how we're going to make him visible. We are going to make Joseph Kony a household name, not to celebrate him, but to bring his crimes to the light. And we are starting this year, 2012. We are targeting 20 culture makers and 12 policymakers to use their power for good. Let's start with the 20 culture makers. Celebrities, athletes, and billionaires have a loud voice, and what they talk about spreads instantly.
I'd like indicted war criminals to enjoy the same level of celebrity as me. That seems fair. That's our objective, is to just shine a light on it.
If our goal is to get Kony's name known, the known should join us. We are targeting 20 of the most diverse and influential culture makers to speak out about Kony and make him famous.
Oprah,
Mark Zuckerberg,
Ryan Seacrest,
Bono.
Then we're going after policymakers, the ones that have the authority to see Kony captured. They decide if the advisors stay or leave. So we need to remind them that in this election year of fighting and name-calling, no matter what side you're on, this is something we can all agree on.
A lot of people feel powerless to communicate their ideas. They think that, okay, I'm not a corporation, I don't own my own magazine or news station, I just don't have any say. But seeing what I've done, I think it's empowered a lot of people to realize that one individual can make an impact. And I actually want to demystify and say, here are these really simple tools. Go out and rock it.
And that's just what we intend to do. Our goal is to change the conversation of our culture and get people to ask, who is Joseph Kony? We have printed hundreds of thousands of posters, stickers, yard signs, and flyers that are right now, today, being put up in major cities all over the world. We have thousands of Kony 2012 bracelets that we want everyone to wear, this year only. Each bracelet has a unique ID number. Input that number and you enter the mission to make Kony famous. You can geotag your posters and track your impact in real time. Everything you need is in a box called the Action Kit. It has 2 bracelets, one for you and one to give away. And if you want to help fund our life-saving programs, donate a few dollars a month through Try, and you can have the Action Kit for free. Start making Kony famous today, but all of these efforts will culminate on one day, April 20th, when we cover the night. This is the day when we will meet at sundown and blanket every street in every city till the sun comes up. We will be smart and we will be thorough. The rest of the world will go to bed Friday night and wake up to hundreds of thousands of posters demanding justice on every corner. We have reached a crucial time in history where what we do or don't do right now will affect every generation to come. Arresting Joseph Kony will prove that the world we live in has new rules, that the technology that has brought our planet together is allowing us to respond to the problems of our friends.
When it ends finally by bringing Kony justice, it should be celebrated like worldwide.
We are not just studying human history, we are shaping it. At the end of my life, I want to say that the world we've left behind is one that Gavin can be proud of, a place that doesn't allow Joseph Konys and child soldiers, a place where children, no matter where they live, have a childhood free from fear.
I'm gonna be like you, Dad.
When you grow up?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna come with you to Africa.
The better world we want is coming. It's just waiting for us to stop at nothing.